On Nigeria, election, they say, is an important element of democracy, but the electorate need vital information to make informed decisions. At the moment, Nigeria is faced with various challenges. There is the first scarcity, Naira scarcity. They say Naira is now, even more scarce than foreign currency. Insecurity is also another major issue. But how best can these issues be resolved is what political parties and their candidates are expected to engage Nigerians with through their campaigns. Many people expect presidential candidates to demonstrate deep knowledge as well as understanding of these issues and discuss how they will tackle them. But has the campaign in this year's election been issue-based? That's the question we're asking now. Auwal Rafsabjani is president of the Transition Monetary Group. He joins me live on the countdown. Thank you for joining us on the program. The new Electoral Act has extended campaign period from 90 to 150 days, and there are just some 21 days more for campaigns. What's your assessment of how issue-based this campaign period have been across board thus far?
Thank you very much, and good evening, viewers. Certainly, there's a huge concern by many Nigerians regarding the inability of the politicians and political parties to campaign based on issues that are actually affecting Nigerians. We expected that the presidential candidate to be talking on what are their strategy to combat insecurity, what are their strategy to combat corruption, what are their strategy to expand or to improve the economic situation in the country, what are their strategy to ensure infrastructural development? What are their strategy to rescue and restore education as well as healthcare system? Unfortunately and sadly, it appears that all those are not, a priority issue to them, and that, really undermines the, seriousness about the campaign that they are doing. So we are very much worried and concerned regarding this, way and manner in which the campaign is being, carried out in Nigeria by these, political parties as well as the presidential candidate. There's no way we can make any meaningful progress if the campaign is reduced to verbal attack or to insulting one another or to making it a category and turning the campaign to a dancing floor rather than discussing, issues that affect governance in Nigeria. We expect the presidential aspirant or candidate, to bring these issues to say on the basis of the failure or ineffectiveness on policy A, Y, Z. When our government, our party wins the election, indeed, these are the things that we will want to do in order to ensure that we address those challenges. But you hardly hear anything. It is more of reducing this campaign to verbal attack, to insulting people, to abusing, people. And I think, this is really dangerous, and it shouldn't be the...
I hear you, Mr. Rafsabjani. Let me just cut in very quickly. We also spoke to a cross-section of Nigerians about what they think as regards the issue-based campaign in the past few days. I'd like you to listen to what they say, or what they said, and then we'll continue with this conversation.
Okay.
What they are going to do for us on job creation?
Instead of addressing issues, the challenges that we are facing in the country, what I feel they are doing is, hitting on one another.
We didn't have impact in the lives of Nigeria. It's so tough. You understand me? People are going. Every day people are going depressed. People understand who they are. So the problem is now we are looking for people that we can really trust. If their manifesto is to touch the lives and the lives of Nigerians,
political actors will embark on campaign without issues. What they have ended up doing is emphasizing on our challenges, our problems, and they have also ended up killing themselves, assassinating characters, and painting people in bad light. If it were to be a sane country where people are assessed based on issues they want to address, some of these 80% of our politicians will not get to office.
Amount of youths that go into IT, they are going to all sorts of things these days. We are good people.
Well, they seem to echo exactly what you have established earlier, Mr. Rafsabjani. But I'm wondering if, as a country, we have enough legislative framework to control political rhetorics by these politicians. And what do you think is the role of citizens at this time in demanding responses from candidates?
Well, I think it is important that Nigerians begin to ask questions and to demand accountability, on the politicians who make all sorts of promises. You see, if you recall, many a times politicians will make promise and, they will not fulfill it. And without discussion or dialogue or debate, there's no way you can also hold politicians to account based on the commitment they have made. So that is why it is absolutely necessary that Nigerians, the voters, should begin to hold public official or politician accountable, because when they stay away from engaging, then it will be difficult for us to hold them to account. But I think a platform of engagement and discussing issues, for example, a candidate should be discussing issues on how they can respond to the challenges of insecurity in the country. Let us know the strategy they are using, because the current strategy appears to have failed Nigerians. So what are the new strategy that the current candidates who are seeking to take over, either at the state or at the national level, what are the approaches, what are the strategy they are going to use that is different from the current one that appears not to have worked? Secondly, the economic quagmire and crisis that we have found ourselves. What is the new approach to economic stabilization in the country that the candidates will be pushing, so that when they get in there, they will begin to apply that? And if they don't do that, Nigerians can hold them to account for the commitment and the promises they have made to improve on the economy. The same thing on the education, the same thing on the healthcare system. So, but it appears to me that some people, they don't think Nigerians matter, or they don't think discussing the issues matter, because they can find their way. They can, do the usual, maneuvering and manipulation of the electoral process. That is why they do not think that they have any obligation to do what is needed to ensure that they convince Nigerians, they convince the voters, on what they want to do.
Indeed. How well do you think that civil societies and the media are doing in this regard in, calling these candidates,
so right now,
making
as
them
I speak
accountable?
as I speak to you, civil society have been trying to organize, debate and dialogue in various states in the federation for the gubernatorial candidates, as well as presidential candidates. For example, Transition Monitoring Group, working with the Nigerian, election debate group, is organizing a presidential debate on the 12th of February. What it has also, support from Scale United, USAID, to organize that event and, to be discussing issues around accountability, issues around, the approach to issues of the revival of economy, issues around transparency and accountability, and also what are the strategies to discard or to stop, supporting this fraudulent fuel subsidy scam.
Indeed.
These are things that, Nigerians want to hear. And, if the governors or the presidential candidates are not able to attend those debates to discuss passionately, with all honesty and sincerity based on their manifesto, if they are not able to speak about all those things, then it will be difficult for us to have a very, good,
an accurate appraisal of their capacity and what they have to deliver. That's our time. Auwal Rafsabjani is president of the Transition Monitoring Group. Thank you so much for your time on the program today.
Thank you very much.